Tariffs have begun, and our puppet president is bending the knee to his new god king, Elon Musk. Welcome to the Valenti VOD. I'm your host, Chris Valenti, and today we're talking about some crazy shit that's going on. The trade war with Canada, Mexico, and China has officially begun. Trump has implemented 25% tariff imports on Mexico and Canada, with a stipulation of only 10% on Canadian energy, because we, as Americans, are entirely reliant on our imports because we shipped all of our industries across the fucking planet. And then a 10% additional tariff on China. Now, guys, here's the thing. What does that mean? That means that the price of everything is about to skyrocket with a minimum of at least 25%. Because let me explain something to you. Let me explain this in a way that you hopefully can understand, okay? If you put a targeted tariff on a good, it could potentially help American businesses. And my example of that would be, I think in 2016, we put a targeted tariff on Chinese washing machines. Why? Because we actually have a relatively large American washing machine industry out of Pennsylvania, I believe, right? And when we put that targeted tariff on Chinese washing machines, it increased the price of Chinese washing machines on the consumer, right? And what ended up happening? People bought the alternative, which was American. It was cheaper. That business boomed, right? But we had a washing machine manufacturing facility here in America. We don't have that for almost everything. We shipped our manufacturing under Ronald Reagan across to fucking places like Thailand, okay? We don't make anything here except for corn, soybeans, and guns, okay? And porn, a lot of it. So when you put a blanket tariff on a good where you say all goods coming in from this nation are going to get a 25% increase, well, that just means that it doesn't matter what store you go to, everything is going to be more expensive. Now, add on to the fact that American hyper-capitalist corporations are going to utilize this to increase their profit margins. Now, what do I mean by that? Let's explain that. Let's say there's an avocado from Mexico, right? And the avocado from Mexico costs $100. Or no, that's crazy. The avocado from Mexico, it costs $5, right? And then after the tariff, the price of the Mexican avocado from Mexico goes from $5 to $10 due to the tariff, okay? American consumers are going to go, well, damn, that's a $10 avocado. I don't want that. I'm going to get the American alternative, which is $6, right? So that American company goes, ooh, we have a $4 profit margin, right? Where we can increase the price from $6 to $7 and they will still buy. Why? Because $7 is still cheaper than $10. Why not increase it to $8? Why? Because they'll still buy it. $8 is cheaper than $10. Why not increase it to $9? They'll still buy it. $9 is cheaper than $10. And if you don't think that corporations are going to do that, you are incredibly naive. We already understand that in a hyper-capitalist organization of the economy, profit matters more than human life. You know that. You live in the United States. You've seen it happen with the healthcare industry, with the food industry, putting fucking chemicals in all of our food, water purification. We've seen it. So let's just read Donald Trump's tweet himself together. Today, I have implemented a 25% tariff on imports from Mexico and Canada, 10% tariff on Canadian energy, and a 10% additional tariff on China. This was done through the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, also known as IEEPA, because of the major threat of illegal aliens and deadly drugs killing our citizens, including fentanyl. We need to protect Americans, and it is my duty as president to ensure the safety of all. I made a promise on my campaign to stop the flood of illegal aliens and drugs from pouring across our borders, and Americans overwhelmingly voted in favor of it. One thing I fucking love about Trump is that he constantly has to pat himself on the back. Every day, I think he has to remind himself, like, and Americans voted for it. Americans love me. Everybody loves me. I've never met somebody who doesn't love me. Even the people that say that they hate me, they secretly love me. Like, he's such a fucking narcissist. But guys, also, don't forget, I think we get something like 60% of our oil from Canada. And what Trump neglected to include there is that a stipulation in this policy, in this tariff plan that he enacted, is called the retaliatory stipulation. right? Which means that if any of these nations, Mexico, Canada, or China, retaliate in any way, whether that be economically or militarily, he will add more tariffs. That's why what we're talking about is a trade war, because we already know Justin Trudeau and the Canadian leadership has already said that they will be responding to these tariffs by putting tariffs on our goods, right? Which will increase the price for Canadian civilians. It's sort of like we're putting our own civilians in danger against each other. So if you don't understand like how the tariff works, that's okay. A lot of people don't. Let me just explain something to you. When you put a tariff on, for example, a Chinese good, right? China, the government, they're not paying a bill. It's not like you send them a bill, you're like, we're tariffing you, send us money. That's not what a fucking tariff is. What it means is that we're trying to fuck with the Chinese export market by charging American importers more to import Chinese goods, right? Which would, in theory, drive American businesses to get more sales because the Chinese goods are more expensive. See, the cost of the tariff is passed on to you, the consumer. Because if it costs $100 to get these Chinese dolls, and now that the tariff is on, I import it and I go, oh, I have to pay $125 for the same amount of dolls. That means when I sell it to the store, right? When I give it to the store, I have to increase the price on them so that I can make my money back. And then they have to increase the price on you so that they can make their money back. This is literally just basic economics. The thing is, I think that Trump is just like obsessed with like William McKinley or some fucking shit. And now he's just like focusing his entire plan on tariffs. Literally, I think he has like a hyper fixation with the word tariff. It's ridiculous. Now, what's important is that Donald Trump is just the president, okay? He's just a puppet. The real leader, the emperor, Elon Musk, has been losing his fucking shit on Twitter. This guy tweets like 70 to 80 times a fucking day, by the way, but he's been going absolutely batshit crazy today, talking shit about you. I'm just going to go through a couple of them because, like, look how all of these say 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour. This guy is tweeting fucking, like, where do we want to start? Do we want to start from 2 hours ago? Like, all right, we're going to start from why don't we just start from 4 hours ago? He's constantly retweeting shit about U.S. aid. Government funding, $130.7 million report on the IRS, active grants. Interesting. Is this legal? Guys, I have to remind you that, like, every time he does something like this, he knows the answers. Is this legal? Yes, it is legal. That's not he says this because he's trying to provoke thought, and he pushes all of his tweets into the minds of literal hundreds of millions of fucking people. There's a recent one here. Where is it? Where the fuck is it? About DEI. I've got to pull this up for you. When a Democrat says threat to our democracy, they really mean threat to their corrupt bureaucracy. Dude, you're the bureaucracy. You're literally the bureaucracy. You now have a government agency called Doge. That makes you a bureaucrat. You're no longer in the private sector, you fucking moron. Oh my God. Todd Young is a deep state puppet. Dude, you're the literal deep state puppet master. You're like, what's the name of the guy who made Pinocchio? What's the name of the guy? The fucking guy who made Pinocchio. USAID was a viper's nest of radical left Marxists who hate America. Guys, this is the wealthiest man on planet Earth who claims to be a super genius. Like, half the planet claims that this guy is a super genius, and he's using words like radical left Marxists who hate America. This is literally appealing to emotion. This is appealing to the dumbest people on fucking planet Earth. USAID is evil. USAID, bro, that's how we fucking help struggling nations. Notice how he has no problem with, like, the funding for fucking AIPAC, but he does have a problem with the funding for USAID. It's unbelievable. I've thought that, yeah, there it is. DEI means people, D-I-E. And showing pictures of the fucking plane crash in the water in Washington, D.C. Guys, this is what fascists do. A key characteristic of fascism is to blame any and all problems on minorities, right? It doesn't matter if they're a racial minority or a religious minority. Just blame it on the odd man out. That way they can just continue to keep fucking you up the ass. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's absolutely unbelievable. And then also one other thing that I just wanted to cover super quickly before we forget. Chinese DeepSeek AI was downloaded by millions, and immediately the government is already contemplating banning it, just like they did with TikTok, and they're going to do with Red Note, and anything that interferes with the state controlled flow of information. They will be putting it in a stranglehold. But anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today. Maybe I'll make another video later tonight. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, follow, or subscribe. Comment down below. Hit the bell and tip me if you want to send me money. Make sure to check out the latest episode of Valentiverse. And I love you all very much. Have a good day. We're going to get through this. Fight, fight, fight.